What's going on, everybody? This is Mortym, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Autopsy, where we dissect the gaming news of the week. And for this week, we are talking The Division's beta, Diablo III Season 5, and lastly, Homefront The Revolution. So, from the top, The Division beta. It starts Friday. Xbox players get it on the 28th, which a lot of people believe is just giving Ubisoft time to hammer out a few of the bugs with servers, things like that. That way, when more people jump on Friday, they will have a smoother experience. Now, there are a couple of things I'd like to say about this. I am planning on streaming it as much as I can that day. I'm probably going to do like 3 or 4 hours as soon as the servers come up, which I believe is like 10 or 11 Central Standard Time. I did not look specifically, but it is one of those two. So I'm going to stream for a few hours as soon as it comes up and as soon as I can get it going, provided there are no like jump in and the server crash kind of bugs that occasionally happen. You kind of have to expect that with events like this, especially since it is still a beta. And while the developer has stated that they fixed over 10,000 bugs since the alpha, which was late last year, I believe it was November, it might have been December though, I do not remember. But they fixed a bunch of bugs since that point. However, they did also release a list of the bugs that are known to still be there, that you can expect. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. After I do that 3 or 4 hours of streaming, I'm going to stop and try to make some videos on the game mechanics and basically everything that I can in the 3 days that the Division beta will be up. It is lasting through the weekend, and then after that, we wait for that last month or so before the game releases in March. March 8th to be specific. Now, moving on to the Diablo III Season 5. I wanted to mention this because it is incredibly fun. I mostly just jumped back in to kind of see what was what. I had heard about the new area and stuff. They had announced it at BlizzCon, so I just kind of wanted to take a look. It started on the 15th of January, and I have played, with a full-time job, mind you, probably like 30, 40 hours since then. And it's just really fun. They give everyone a set after you complete some objectives, and then you can jump straight into like Torment 8 and 9 with that set, and it's just a lot of fun. I like a lot of the changes they've made, and it's been a while since I played, so I'm sure some of them aren't specifically new to Season 5. But if you haven't played Diablo 3 in a while, I think it's definitely worth a look. It is a lot of fun. Now, with those two out of the way, that brings us to our last bit of news, Homefront The Revolution. I mention this specifically because they recently released a trailer announcing kind of the beta and basically just a few other minor details. Like, for instance, and much to everyone's disappointment, there will be microtransactions. You can get basically everything in the game with them. However, it's randomized to alleviate some of that, like, I'm just going to pay for the best weapon right off the bat. It is random, but you can kind of decide what you want in general. Now, the beta is February 11th through February 14th. It is Xbox only, which really sucks, which means I'm not going to take part in it. I'm not really a big console guy. I don't have anything against consoles particularly. I just prefer PC. Now, other than that, the game does release in May. They are also mentioning that after the game launches, there will be an entire year of free DLC, so there will be no need to buy a season pass or anything like that. And given that they added in the microtransactions and there's a bit of give and take there, I really think that was a smart move on their part. That will attract a lot of people that they might have lost at the word microtransactions. So, I guess more than anything, we'll just kind of have to see how it plays out. But it is a game I'm looking forward to nonetheless. They were talking about some of the missions and stuff because they recently did like a gameplay thing. Most of it is pretty standard shooter stuff. You capture an objective while you're there, but the main catch is that you are incredibly underpowered compared to the enemy. They're more technologically advanced, they have heavier ordnance. They're just better off than you, really, and that's kind of the challenge of it. You have to use hit-and-run guerrilla tactics, or you will lose a straight-out firefight. Now, other than that, I wanted to mention that they did also kind of release a bit of information on skill trees and how progression was going to work. There will be skill trees, medic, scavenger, things like that, things you're used to in a shooter. and you will earn perks for those skill trees, skill points, if you will, and then you will assign them to little perks that will help you do things associated with that particular tree. So nothing groundbreaking, but it's a fun way to diversify it nonetheless. People always like that. But I'm looking forward to the game. I'm probably not going to be able to do much with it until May, but nonetheless, I just wanted to share all that information with you guys, and so that is going to wrap up this week's episode of The Autopsy. This has been Mortym. We've dissected the gaming news of the week. Thank you so much for watching. If this is the first video of mine you're watching, I hope you subscribe and stick around for the coverage of all that content. But either way, I hope you guys have a fantastic day.